Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer and today is Monday, and on Monday we show our makes. So I don't have a whole lot. I've been making a lot of work for myself. I've been making a big mess. Haven't really been on my knitting machine a whole lot. I've had the time. I have not taken the time. There's been a lot going on this week. The kids, well, this past week. Although in my current time frame, I'm still in last week because I'm filming this Friday. Somebody asked me last week, I'm just trying to sort out what's on my desk. Somebody asked me last night, why do you feel the need to tell us what day of the week it is? Because sometimes people get confused because I tell them information in one video and the next video the information has changed because the videos are out of order. That's why I do that. So there's to answer your question. Now, my little pile looks pathetic compared to last week. I'm also in the process of preparing myself for Premiere Week. Not Premiere Week, Mary Maxim Week. And I don't know what I did with that yarn. By the way, I've also been getting questions. What is that thing in the background? This was it's a Squishmallow. Mr. Cinnamon bought this for me for Valentine's Day. It's a dog. And I thought it looked like Bentley, so he bought it for me. And it's very helpful for when I'm in here stressed out because he sits on my lap perfectly and then my head rests right here. And I dig my face into his face and I hug him and I breathe. Because he's soft and squishy, and Bentley don't let me hold him like that no more. Very rarely. I'm trying to find some yarn that I know that I have over here. By the way, I cleaned the room up again and rearranged things and reorganized things. I think it's red. It's right here. This is the yarn we're talking about today. Oh. Anyway, it wouldn't be a Cinnamon Stitches video if I came prepared, would it? So the first thing I did make on the knitting machine, and I used the Premier Pixie Dust Brights. I featured this in a video around Valentine's Day, and it's a blanket style yarn, but it's a 4-weight and it's very sparkly. And if you look up here, there's a heart made out of it. And if you look down here, there's an octopus made out of it. There was another heart up there. I don't know what happened to it. But that's what happens when I rearrange the whole house. How does this look? I already showed all this to the members on this weekend video. I did like a back behind the scenes tour. I scanned the room. Mr. Cinnamon. I gotta keep on top of, they went up to Washington DC today and I was worried about the traffic and Mr. Cinnamon's driving. And Bentley! I'll be right back. Common sense would tell you the house wouldn't be as active when no one is here but me, but the dogs. I don't know what he was, and I know it was him because he's the one walking around. The other two are on the couch. I heard a crash, and then I heard like a box shake. And he just walks around like he didn't do nothing. He don't know what I'm talking about. I ask him on a daily basis, like, why are you so cute? Oh, okay. Back to business. Telephone. Telephone. And that's Ashley. I'll get back to her in a minute. Ashley is from Stitching Ain't Easy, so if you're watching this, Ashley, you just texted me while I was recording. What the heck? Anyway, so Pixie Dust Brights from Premier. It is a sparkly style blanket yarn. After I made the amigurumi, I was like, what am I going to make with that? Because blanket yarn's not my favorite. This yarn is cool and it's sparkly and I wanted to do something with it. But I just was lost. And I know this happens a lot with you guys because you'll say, okay, I bought that yarn, now what? Same here. Now what? So I had the blue and the black left over, and I threw it in the knitting machine. Just leave that here until I put it back. So what I did is I just alternated. I did not count how many stripes, how many rows I did. I was watching TV. We were watching The Mandalorian as a family while I was cranking. Because this table is very easily movable. And don't ask Mr. Cinnamon about that. He is so over it now. Like, he wanted to make those, and he had all these bright ideas, and then he, like, started to work on it, and it fizzled out, and now I'm just tired of asking him about the table, so we're going to forget it ever happened. But anyway, my table is very easily movable to other parts of the house, and my chair is the perfect height for the table. So I wheel my chair out there, I sit next to the couch, put the table there, because the couch is way too low for that table. Otherwise, I'm cranking way up here, and that's not fun. So I wheeled myself out there. Anyway, I didn't count the rows. I just did randomized rows. So this is a very long scarf. I used the entirety of both of the skeins of yarn. And my sister questioned me, why did you make that? You don't live where it's cold. Because I said so. That's all you need to know. Because I said so. See? Isn't this cute? And it does get cold here, and it does snow. It just has not this year. Matter of fact, today's going to be almost 70 degrees. So, cute, right? And it's all fuzzy, sparkly. Although, let's turn the light down a little bit and see if we can get that sparkle. See, the red looked way sparklier. Oh, there we go. We catch a little bit of sparkle. It is super sparkly. Oh, there we go. That blue just don't want to show it. The blue is just as sparkly as the black. But I really like these colors. And that probably will be a scent somewhere colder type scarf. Because I do donate stuff. And I like to make warmer stuff for people further north. And I do gift this. I gift things. I give it away to whoever wants it. Most of the time. So, there's that. See, the black shows up and the red shows up and the blue's like, yeah, no. And the blue is just as sparkly. Alright, color back. I'm not that pink. Alright, now I made a bunch of washcloths. I don't think I showed you the Jada N Stitches blanket, which is behind you, so let me grab that. I showed it to Jada. And then I was like, did I show it to the cinnamon buns? Did I show it to my peeps? I don't know. So if you saw this, pretend it's new and be very surprised, okay? So the Jada N Stitches is like my favorite podcaster of all times. Hands down. I adore her. She is so sweet. She's a beautiful designer. She makes things that are customizable for bigger bodies, even though she's like this big. She's significantly smaller than me. She could probably stand in my hand. Like, I'm gigantor next to her. But anyway, that don't matter. None of that matters. She makes bigger sizes or makes things that are customizable for bigger sizes, which I like, you know. She's who taught me how to crochet. You guys have heard the story before. She's doing... She does every year a calendar blanket, and every month she releases a new design. She's done everything from what looks like a tapestry with like houses and people and like items, trees and stuff. So it looks like a piece of folk art. She's done a crochet square sampler with different appliques on it. She's done a mighty mile a minute, so you do the strips like a mile a minute blanket. None of which I've participated in because I get bored really easily and I know that I could not commit. She also did a stitch sampler blanket, which I kind of participated. I didn't make the blanket, but I did the stitches and put them into objects. With all that being said, this year is the Fair Isle blanket, and every month she's releasing a graph. She does a tutorial. She shows you how to do everything. Graphing comes really easy to my brain, as does things that are related to not geography, no, I mean kinda, but like geometry. The study of shapes and the way the shapes work. My brain really easily can deal with pictures and stuff like that. When you throw numbers on top of it, like, if you just show me numbers, like, my brain gets all confused, but like graphs, tangible things that you can actually touch, feel, or like imagine that you're touching and feeling, that comes easy to my brain. So this is very easy, and I know that not everyone has the same type of brain. They learn differently. So this might be difficult to some people. It might be easy to you. Okay, so for me, it's like, I don't even read the pattern, and I watch the tutorial just so she gets the watch time, or the ad revenue, if you will. But mostly I pay for the pattern on her website, and I think the pattern's only like $5.95 or something. And I pay for the pattern, and I just have the graph always open on my phone while I'm making it. And then this is January. It is snowflakes. This was my first time, and the snowflakes are not perfect. They are... Sounds like a fire truck. Oh, that was a garbage man. My window's open, so you're gonna hear all kinds of craziness. So the snowflakes did not turn out as perfect as like the following months, but it doesn't matter because this is my blanket. What I did different from hers is I made mine an extra. So she has 6. I put 7 because I have a big body and I wanted it to be wider to go around, you know, wrap around my arms. And so, yeah, I'm also doing mine completely in glitter. And this is a mixture of, the background is Mary Maxim sparkly yarn. I think it's the, I don't remember what it's called. It's the Mary Maxim yarn. The dark blue, I think, is also Mary Maxim yarn. But then the pink here is sparkly, but it's Hobby Lobby yarn. And the red is Mary Maxim yarn. And then in between each month, I'm putting a gray sparkle stripe. Now, this is also Mary Maxim yarn. They say it's blue. The color label is listed as baby blue, but that's gray. And then for the month of March, she did a Fair Isle. It's kind of argyle to me. It's supposed to be little shamrocks, and I changed it up in the matter of, and she had different options to, in her, the pattern is really cool because for February, she had where this was the tutorial, and then she talks about you can fill it in, and then she had different options. You could fill it in with the same color, or you could fill it in with a different color, and she gives you all these options in the pattern as well. So what I did is I created a beating heart. So open, close, it's a beating heart. I have a heart condition. My grandmother had a heart condition. my dad had a heart attack, almost died. Like, the heart issue, the American Heart Association, is very close to my heart. Pun fully intended. So I wanted the beating heart to represent that. Kind of the people I lost. My godfather, who was also my uncle, he died from a heart attack. Yeah, my grandmother died from a heart attack. Like, there you have it. So when she released March's, she did where you can make just the open, the green, and it gives you the pattern, which was pretty. Or she had where you could fill in the 4 with the same color green, which looked like 4 shamrocks, which was pretty. But I wanted to do something different, so I filled in, and this is gold. It's actual gold. And this is all sparkle yarn. I wanted it to look, whatever the word I just said is that now has escaped my brain. Argyle. I wanted it to look argyle. So that is the month of March. I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I actually really want to make a blanket. And I discussed this with Jada. I was like, that would be just so pretty as a blanket. And what I'm thinking is like doing a stripe down either side and doing like something either plain in the middle or doing something that goes along with the argyle look is what I'm thinking. I just think that would be a beautiful blanket. So this green was sent to me in Happy Mail. Thank you so much once again. This is a red heart. Means Red Heart with Love, sparkle or metallic. And then the dark green is Mary Maxim, the same as the rest of the Mary Maxims. And the gold, I don't remember what the gold is. It was in my stash. It was like a weird off-brand that I may have gotten in a mystery bag, or I may have gotten at Scrap RVA when they had the fill the bag sale. Because Mr. Cinnamon is not home, Scarlett is extra barky. She feels like she gotta protect everybody. But I really, really loved the way March turned out. I was thinking I really wanted her to do like a shamrock. Like how cute, because like, you know, we got the big, when she came out with this, I was like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Like she came out left field with that one and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So this is what we have so far. I did not finish that this week. This was finished. I think I finished this last Monday when I actually talked about the shamrock thing in the video. I was working on it. So, oh, Glimmer. It's Mary Maxim Glimmer. That's light blue apparently. So, I want to show you guys that too, but even though I didn't work on that this week. I have my whips piled over there, and I have way too many now. And I have something on my desk that's wet that I'll show you in just a moment. Now, in one of the many, many trips that we went to Hobby Lobby, either on the look for clearance or buying clearance, I also was on the lookout for, what did I do with that? It's the cotton, it's the little cottons from Hobby Lobby. It's not in there. Dropping stuff on the floor. What did I do with those? I don't know. Anyway, it's a new colorway of the little cottons at Hobby Lobby, and the name is escaping me. I want to say Crafter's Secret. It doesn't matter. I showed them to you last week, and I actually showed you this colorway of it. So, and I told you I had yellow, but it was on the hooks because I was making it into washcloths. So, what I made with one little ball is I made this washcloth. This is I think this is a tutorial on the channel. I didn't follow the tutorial, but it's basically like baubles and ridge stitches. And I will link that tutorial below. See the baubles, ridge stitch. I will link that tutorial below. I like textured washcloths. I just feel like they're getting more clean. And these are washcloths, and these are for my bathtub. I have a large garden bathtub that I fit very comfortably in. That was one of the caveats for buying this house. Is like if it didn't have a bathtub that I could fit in properly, I was not buying the house. I didn't want to buy a house to have to renovate it and put in a bathtub that I fit in. Okay? So when we came and we looked at this house, I took my shoes off and I got in the bathtub. I was like, I fit. We can buy this house. It was one of many things that I liked about the house, but like the bathtub was the icing that sealed the cake. Okay? So I have a Mr. Cinnamon made me this really cool, it's planks of wood, but it's like he stained it and it's beautiful. And it sits on the top of my bathtub. And it's like a shelf. So it goes across my body here. I can set my phone on there and watch YouTube if I want. I can, you know, my shower, my bath supplies sit up there. And I have a basket from Grandpa, Chris's grandpa, who has been passed away for a while. That tells me that basket's about 8 or 9 years old. That explains why it's starting to fall apart. It's just a wicker basket. I keep bath supplies in there, and I'm always on the lookout. I just want my washcloths seem to disappear. Mr. Cinnamon has thrown several of them away. I don't know why he thinks they're not important, or they end up on the floor in the garage, almost stuck to the floor because, oh, it's wet, and they throw it in there and it like suctions into the floor and dries that way. It's one of those arguments that goes round and round and round and don't really go anywhere. So, I lose a lot of washcloths, so I'm constantly making them for myself. I want to fold these up and put them in that basket so that I have washcloths in there for myself. Little man is the only other person that uses the washcloths like this because he does not like water in his face when he's in the shower, so he always has to have something hanging in the shower that's dry that he can wipe his face off with. But I made this extra big, bigger than I normally do, because I sometimes will have a headache, or sometimes I just don't want to be bothered. So I go lay in the bathtub and I just put the washcloth over my face and I stay that way. So I really like the confetti feel to these new colorways. Wish I could figure out what the heck I did with them though. That's what happens when you clean. I put stuff away and I'm like, ah, where'd it go? Alright, so I made that. And then I had some left over, so I made a little tiny one. These are good for like just washing your face, washing the makeup off. These are also good to put under if you have a bar of soap. You just set the bar of soap on there. And then when this starts to get filled with too much soap, wipe the sink down or wipe the like faucet, the handles on the bathtub down, rinse it off a little bit, throw it in the washing machine. I learned that trick a long time ago from another podcaster. So I make these occasionally to set under the bar of soap. That's what I do with those. But it also makes a really good face scrubby. But I made this one, which is a face scrubby. And this has the bobble stitches like that one. And then I started to make a flower, and I didn't have enough to finish it all the way around. So now it's just like one of the Alice in Wonderland flowers where she should have a face here. She's like a posy. This was me playing. None of this is a pattern. This was me playing and trying to figure out how to make a scalloped edge. So, and then that is a different cotton entirely. What is this cotton? I made all these and I don't even remember what cotton this is. Alright, we'll go back to the Hobby Lobby one. So, I made another big giant washcloth. This is double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, the whole thing. And I think I started with 34 stitches, I think. So, but I really love the colors on this. I love how it looks. I love the rainbowy. I just love that. I think it's really pretty. And I will weave in the ends before I take them upstairs. This has also been like car project crocheting. This has been in between doing all the other things crocheting, because I haven't really taken any time this week to just craft. And then I made another one of these ridgy ones. This one is a little bit too big for soap, but this one's really good for like face washing or whatever. And then I had this much left over. And once again, I ran out. So it's a guy with crazy hair. And we were so close to finishing, but it's fine. It's fine. These are just for my face. It's not a big deal. Okay, now this one is a different cotton. I think, I don't know why I can't remember what yarn this is. Burnett Handicrafter. I paid way too much for it. I thought it was pretty. I saw it on another channel. Someone had gotten some of it. And I was like, that's really pretty. And I looked it up. And I thought it was going to be a bigger skein. And I paid $4 a ball for this crap. And I was so upset. I was like, $14. And it's like, is a regular size cotton. It's pretty, but like I would not have paid that. I'm trying to figure out what side is the right side. I don't think there is a right side. Alright, so I just randomized stitches here. There's a row of star stitches, double crochets, half double crochets, single crochets, shells. I just completely randomized, and it's beautiful, but it's to wash your body, so, and it's big enough to go over my face. And then I bought 2 balls of this, which is why I think there's 2 full-size washcloths. And then the pink and the yellow here are the rainbow cotton from Hobby, which I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, it's okay, and it looks pretty. This is a pattern from Premier Yarns. So if you go to Premier Yarns, they have a lot of free patterns I don't remember the name of this. I can look on my phone though real quick. This is Jeopardy! I'm your host, Alex Trebek. Alright, so if you go into the search bar and you type in patterns, it'll pop up and show you patterns, and you can filter by product type, hang on, let's see, hang on, or you can say washcloth pattern. Washcloth pattern, really? And it's still talking. It's like, it's copying everything. I hate technology. Oh, good Lord. Washcloth pattern. That's all. Thank you. And then it shows patterns. They got a lot of free patterns for washcloths. Let me see if I can find it. It's called the Rick Rack Washcloth. And a lot of times I just go to, a lot of the yarn companies have free patterns on their website. Yarn Inspirations has a ton of free patterns. Mary Maxim has free patterns. They don't have a whole lot, but they do have some. Premier Rick Rack Washcloth. I will try to remember to link that below, but that's this pattern, and it was really pretty, and it was really easy, and it worked up really fast, so I really like that. I might make some more of those. And then I had just enough left over to make 2 more face scrubbies and or coasters. I mean, they could go for either. And now, oh, wait. I lied, I had more. So with those 2 balls, I made 2 washcloths, 2 face cloth coasters, plus 3 face cloth coasters, whatever you want to use these for. Because they're cotton, you can use them for a coaster. They'll soak up some of the moisture from your cups. You can use these as face scrubbies. You can use these as whatever you want. You could use them to wipe your dishes down if you want. Just got a little job, like clean out your cups. You can make these real small, and you can stick them in the bottom of your cup holder in your car, and it collects all that yucky, sticky stuff that collects in there, you know? Yeah. I've made quite a few of those. So I made this one, which has a star in the middle. This may have been a Jada N Stitches pattern. This one, and then this one, which has, this side looks terrible. It has bobbles like that make look like a star. And then I did double crochets, and then I did front post, back post, but double crochets. And then finally, I had one more washcloth to show you. And this is just double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, single crochet. And it's extra large, and this is an entire skein of, I think this is Premier Home Cotton. I really like the colors. This reminds me of like puzzle pieces from a distance. Oh, it kind of goes zigzag. What? It's got M's for mom. I didn't realize when I'm looking at it, like I don't see the design like with my eyes. My eyes are like, yeah, no, there's nothing there. But then when I look at it through the camera, I was like, wow, that looks cool. Then the last thing that I made on this fine Monday morning is this. It's still wet out of the laundry. Now, it is shedding. This is yarn I got from the thrift store called Bernat Sorbetto. And it is, I found in, if you guys watched last Friday's video, which is today's video because I'm filming this on Friday, I went to Savers thrift store and I found bags with yarn in it, and they had 5 balls of this in this beautiful periwinkle-ish color, and it's 30% cotton, 20% viscose, 25% acrylic, 20% linen, 5% nylon. It says hand wash, towel dry, or dry clean. I knit this up. I knit 4 balls up on my knitting machine, and it knit up just gorgeously. As you can see, it is definitely shedding. it knit up so beautifully, and when this is dry, it's going to be a nice lightweight scarf thing. Good Lord. Mr. Cinnamon took the kids to the museum, and he's so cute. He took the kids to the museums, a couple of the museums up in Washington, D.C., which most of are free. Juju really wanted to go back to the art gallery, and little man's going to go to the Air and Space Museum later. And Juju was teasing him about some of the artists, and she's like, she said something about Van Gogh to Lucas. He's all, who is that? I don't know who Van Gogh is. So she was teasing him that, you know, he cut his ear off and like he was crazy and all this other stuff. She was like just messing with Lucas, you know. And so Mr. Cinnamon just sent me a text. Little man found Van Gogh. He's very excited. Oh, that's cute. I chose not to go. I'm feeling a little bit like I'm feeling mom guilt because I should go. I should be spending time with my family, but I didn't want to. I did not want to. I have had a rough week health-wise with stomach issues and being gluten, and being gluten causes all kinds of issues with my body, and I just have had a rough week physically. And while I feel fine today, I don't want to walk around Washington, D.C. So you gotta walk everywhere because there's not like ample parking, and like the museums is a lot of walking, and I just did not have the energy in my body to do all that today, and I didn't really want to. And so Juju is upset with me. Hermione's probably upset with me, but like I do everything with them. Oh Lord, they forgot his medication. Oh, they're going to have a fun day with him. Now, he is fine some days without his medication, but he's very constant. He rocks. And he's going to be exhausted tonight. He rocks, and he's constantly, like, swinging and turning, and he's very loud and just won't stop talking and quick to anger. So, that'll be fun. I'm so glad I stayed home. So yeah, I told Mr. Sim, I was like, I just want to stay home and craft. I just want to just hang out at home with the dogs. I just want to watch TV because I've not, with my niece here and with Juju being home because of spring break, I have not gotten to watch anything on TV. And I don't generally sit and watch TV, but I turn it on to like YouTube and I let it run in the background while I'm doing other things. Or like I can't even sit on the couch because teenagers just take over the space, and that's what they've done. I have a big sectional that seats 6 people, and 2 people take up the whole couch with their crap, and I'm so tired of yelling at them to pick up their crap. So I stay in here. Mr. Cinnamon has been home working. He's working on some things for work that have to be at home, and so he's been working in the dining room across from where I'm at right now, and we just been sitting here like, you know, looking back and forth at each other. Anyway, back to this. It knit up beautifully in the machine. There are a few issues with some of the stitches in this, so it's not perfect. Like, there's like little blips. But this is for me, so I don't really care. And I had, right when I was getting ready to end it, I had where it just did all kinds of funky crap. And I could have tinked it back. I chose not to because I don't care about a little tiny hole. Like, who's going to be so close to you that they can see that there's a little hole right there? Nobody. And if they do, you just flip it around. Anyway, this worked out beautifully. It's got a nice, like, a fuzz to it. Linen is rough, and cotton can be rough, and this has both in there. And it didn't feel, like, it don't feel the greatest in here, and it also smells musty dusty. So after I cranked it all out and I closed it off, I let it soak in the bathroom sink in lukewarm water because, like, I know that the machine says hand wash, towel dry. It doesn't say what temperature. So I was like, I'm going to do lukewarm to just get the dust smell out. And I put some fabric softener in there, and I put some Gain in there, and Gain is really fragrant. And I let it soak overnight, and as soon as water started to hit this, the water started to turn not blue, but purple, which I don't understand that. Where's the pink? This is blue. It's cornflower blue. Okay, and the water was purple, like royal purple. So we lost a ton of dye, but it didn't really lose a lot of color. It still is wet though, so it may dry lighter. But right now it's heavy with water. I soaked it overnight in the soapy water with the fabric softener. And then this morning I drained the sink out and I squeezed all the water. And the water was really, really dark this morning. And then I threw it in my washing machine because my washing machine doesn't have an agitator in there. And it has a rinse and spin cycle. So it rinsed it off and then it spun the water out. And a lot of times things will come out of my washing machine almost dry. This is not one of those things. But this looks so... Like, I put it on last night, and even though it's damp, I'm still going to put it on. Keep in mind, this is much more light and lofty when it's dry. But isn't this beautiful? It's just beautiful. So, I'm going to probably hang this over my door and let it just dry out. It's losing fluff. I think it's because it's the type of fabric that it is. I have to shake that out. It is definitely losing fluff. Which is why I was careful when I washed it, because I didn't want it to fall apart. Because I don't know how old this yarn is, and cotton and linen can disintegrate very easily and get dry rot. And while this doesn't feel like it has dry rot, because if you pull, you can do like the strength test. If it breaks, it's got dry rot. And at that point, you might as well throw it away. Because I started working with... I found some silk at the thrift store one time and it was beautiful. And it was silk yarn for $1.99. So I bought it and I brought it home and it was like 5 cakes of it. And I started working with it and it was just the slightest touch. It was breaking and falling apart in my hand. And I was like... So, yeah. I'm definitely going to hang this up. And just let it dry out, air out. There we go. Then I'm going to have to, once it gets dry, I'm going to have to shake all the extra fluff out. Because it's losing a lot of fluff. So yeah, that's what I made this week. One of the things, and I know, I'm actually thinking about starting another channel just to talk about the knitting stuff. Or making a Sunday video occasionally talking about knitting things, because I've had a lot of you guys ask me to show you how to do this and show you how to do that, and it doesn't fit into my normal genre on the channel, and I have fuzz on my face. It also doesn't fit into like my schedule, and so I want to do that because I think that could be a lot of fun, and I want to show you guys what I'm doing and what I'm learning. And so I do want to do that, but I'm like, do I make an extra Sunday video occasionally, or do I make another channel? Because I'm not real good at running a second channel, but I would do that. But I'm just not, I know that I don't have time commitment to make regular videos over there. And I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to figure it out, because I do want to do knitting machine videos. I have learned a lot of things or techniques that I'm not seeing on the internet, like how to take it off and hand finish it, you know, like hand knit the other pieces to it. There's not videos like that I've been able to find at all, and they may exist. I've searched and can't find them, and so I want to show like what I'm doing. And there's other people who are using the knitting machine who are exclusive crocheters, and they're having a really hard time with stitch recognition on the knitting machine because they've never knit, so they don't know what a knit stitch or a purl stitch looks like, and they're dropping stitches because of that when they're trying to finish it off. And like, I've had a couple people come to me with that, like, how do you finish it off? Like, I'm having a hard time figuring out where the stitches are. It's not easy. And me even knowing how to knit and recognizing the stitches, it can be a struggle, which is why I use waste yarn. I couldn't do this without waste yarn. When I've tried to do it without waste yarn, it falls apart, or I lose stitches, or something happens. So like waste yarn, I can't do it without waste yarn. But one of the best things about these knitting machines that I have found is the yarn like this that you just bought and you loved. You didn't know why you bought it. You didn't know what you were going to do with it, and you can't figure out what to do with it. Or this. This is one of those yarns that you buy because it's pretty, and then you look at it and you're like, okay, well, what am I going to do with that? What could I possibly make with this that's going to do that yarn justice? And a lot of these type of yarns are meant for knitting. Well, I don't knit that often. I have a couple of long-term knit projects that are on the needles, and I can't seem to finish them because they are taking 2 years to make me a blanket. And that blanket has been a punishment for a long time because I just don't want to pick up a heavy blanket and work on it right now. And so, like, that's why I was shocked. I was shocked how easily fluffy yarn went through that machine when regular basic acrylic, like that machine doesn't like basic acrylic. It's not a big fan of Super Saver, but it likes Super Saver better than Premier Basics or the Premier Sweet Rolls. Struggle with this machine. Why? No idea. I don't have a clue. This machine loves sock yarn and it loves fuzzy yarns. I don't know. I don't understand it. So I've been using a lot of the yarns that I want to use up. The unique yarns, the specialty yarns, the funky yarns. And because my machine, look at that. It's so just pretty. And as it's drying, it's getting prettier and loftier and just, it's so pretty. And I never would have made this because to knit this on knitting needles would have taken me weeks. Weeks, because that's easily a 9-foot scarf. Easily. So, that's one of the, I'm so glad I invested in that dang machine. I'm so glad, I gotta wait to put those away so I can put them away properly. So glad I invested in those. And I'm gonna take this little baby one and this, and I'm gonna make myself a matching headband to go with that because I think that will be really pretty, which is why I saved this one, because I was gonna put all 5 into the scarf, and I was like, you know what, if I save one I can make myself a matching headband, right? And I was thinking about trying to make like a tie headband, so there's a bow up there where I tie it, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that or if I'm just gonna make a regular old headband. I don't know, but I just thought that would be so pretty. So pretty. And I know myself enough to know that this would have stayed in my stash for way too long had I not had the knitting machine. Because I would have been like, I don't know what I'm going to make with that. I don't know. So I've been definitely, and ever since I got these, I wanted to put them into a project, but like what? I don't like making amigurumi that much. I'm not a big fan of amigurumi. And while I made the heart and the octopus that's back there, I didn't want to do that again. I was done. Like, I did my part, and I just didn't want to do that anymore. But I didn't want to just get rid of this yarn either. Like, I wanted to put it in some... It's really cool worked up, right? And I wish you guys could see how sparkly that blue is. The blue is so sparkly. But, yeah, so, yeah. There we have it. I think that is it for today. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you another Hobby Lobby clearance haul. It is not a big one. I'll give you a hint. I got some accessories. This cup was $3 at Hobby Lobby. My local Hobby Lobby has not clearanced off the accessories yet, so I actually got that in Woodbridge with some other cool stuff. And that will be tomorrow. I don't know what's planned for the rest of the week because today, while you guys are watching this video, I'm going to be starting the tutorials for Mary Maxim Week. And I already have everything planned out and in this basket right here and ready to go. Ready to go. So I have a couple more days to relax and just play with my yarn before I have to get really busy and down to work for the tutorials, which is I think another reason why Mr. Cinnamon was so happy to have me stay home today, on top of the fact that I get to cook dinner for him while he's gone. Because him and the 3 kids are up in DC. It's St. Patrick's Day. I'm making corned beef and cabbage for dinner, and so that's an all-day cooking process. And so last time I tried to make it, I was like, well, we're going to be gone, so let's throw it in the crock pot. And the corned beef was not as good in the crock pot as it is on the stove or in the oven. And so we both agreed that I should probably cook it the old way. Because it was a whole thing. And then the cabbage, for some reason, if you put cabbage in the crock pot, it smells way worse than if you fast cook it on a rolling boil on the stove. And I don't know why that is. But the whole house was stinky last time I cooked it. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. I'm just going to cook it the normal way. We're going to roast everything out. It's going to be delicious and moist and fall apart tender. And like, it's going to be good. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be cooking today, and I'm going to turn on my radio really loud and irritate the neighbors. And I'm going to crank out some stuff probably, because, I mean, I crocheted all of these, and I'm so over washcloths right now. I'm over it, and I don't want to start anything big because I have Mary Maxim coming up. So I'm just going to sit and play with the knitting machines today in my freshly cleaned and reorganized room. That I'm so happy with this room now. Like I bought some new buckets in here and some milk crates here to just organize and put things away. And I have a brand new plastic bucket that has the Hobby Lobby yarn purchases. And then even my shelves over here are refreshed. And this is crap on the surface of my desk that I have not yet put away, but it's fine. So I redid my shelves. And my shelves look so pretty. And I also redid my desk, but I'm not turning that around because my desk is something else I gotta worry about. I got one of these plastic buckets at the Dollar Tree, and I put this underneath there, and it catches the yarn so it doesn't hit the floor when I'm making big long scarves. So there we have it. Alright, I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna let you go. I hope your Monday is really good. I hope my Monday is good. Because today in my world is Friday, and so far it's quiet for the most part when the dogs aren't acting crazy. See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.